we watched the defensive back last week. Solid showings out here. So I'm very happy with Deron Bland, somebody I think a lot of people weren't totally aware of despite the interception streak he was on. We brought him up on the show. He had 5 tackles. He had another interception and a pass defense, so a solid day for him. Rayshawn Jenkins, we mentioned in the rainstorm of New York, 9 tackles and a TFL. That got the job done. And Chuck Clark had 7 tackles, pass defense. We talked about as a high floor type of play, and that's exactly what he delivered. Yet again, one of his better performances on the season as that 100% type of role. So, really bad and high right now on defensive back, and I'm hoping we keep it going this week. And a lot of people might be needing it this week. Buda Baker now out for 2 weeks, and therefore the regular season, and therefore the actual season for the Arizona Cardinals. And Derwin James, possibly concussed last night and obviously got ejected after that crushing hit. I'm not sure if you caught the game last night, Axton, but that was...
I saw replays.
I heard that through my TV, through my spine. I felt that one. But yeah, let's talk about the pickups this week for people who might be needing those defensive backs. Logan Ryan is the first one I want to talk about. So a lot of people saw Logan Ryan this week play horrifically because he really didn't play that well. And I'm not sure many people on that Tampa Bay defense in the secondary have all year, but still got 100% snaps. That's normally what he does. He had 88% this past week because he got checked out after a big collision, but he is a 100% type of guy. He did it from week 13 to 15, and he would have done it this past week too. He has 5+ tackles in each of those games, which establishes at least a semi-decent floor. And he had 8 this past week, again, despite missing 12% of the snaps. And he faces Carolina, which is very, we saw what they did Detroit. It's a very run-heavy team that Logan Ryan in the box as well as downfield can make those tackles. And also offer some interception opportunities because this is, at the end of the day, still Sam Darnold we are talking about. So I think Logan Ryan, who we might have forgot about a little bit because the injuries he suffered in the middle and the early part of the season, I think he's in for a very strong finish this year. I think Logan Ryan will do have a nice end to this season.
Yeah, he's had a nice solid, at the very least, a good tackling floor since he returned from his injury. And he's just kind of been one of those guys that's really always been pretty serviceable. It's not been anything too flashy or too crazy, at least the last couple of years, but just somebody you can rely on. So it's good to see him kind of get back to it after his injury. Next name we got up here is one we've brought up before. But we're going to kind of throw him in there as another streamer for this week. He's been doing pretty well, and that's Cam Taylor-Britt, safety for the Cincinnati Bengals. He's got is he a safety or is he a cornerback?
He has both eligibilities on MFL. So okay. I'll check what he is on Yahoo, but he does have both eligibilities. I think it does fit under defensive backs when you get to be both. But
right.
I'll check on Yahoo right now. On Yahoo, he is listed as a cornerback.
Okay. So in the case of a quarterback, in the case of him being lined up as a cornerback, this is going to present a pretty good matchup. You listed your top 5. My what I was just kind of taking a look at just has him as even a top 2 matchup this week against the Buffalo Bills as a cornerback. He's had 5 pass deflections in just the last 4 games. His tackles have been kind of hit or miss. He's either going to get you 6 or 8, or he's going to get you 3 or 4. But just the fact that he's getting in there and making plays, getting his hands on some passes that are being thrown his way, just shows a lot of encouragement, especially going up against the Bills in a favorable matchup this next week. But Josh Allen has been turnover prone throughout the season, and it just really lends well to good passes, and mistake-prone quarterbacks lend well to guys like Cam Taylor-Britt that really get their hands in there on those passes to really have the opportunity to go in and make those extra plays, maybe get you some extra points, maybe even snag an interception this week. So I think he'd be a solid streamer and be serviceable at the very least.
And we've seen Josh Allen talk himself or play himself out of the MVP conversation because of these turnovers that he has thrown. And listen, I mean, that shapes up well for a cornerback like Cam Taylor-Britt, who's really had a really good showing this past week. And Will also brings up that Logan Ryan does play Carolina this week, which is a great matchup for defensive backs. Definitely part of the argument I was meaning to bring up, so I'm glad you did, Will. Thank you for that. And remember, everybody, keep on dropping questions in the chat because we obviously are trying to help you guys with that. And the last thing I want to throw out here, it's not exactly a pickup, but in terms of the injuries I mentioned, particularly to Buda Baker, IDP star, he will be out for the rest of the season. So if Buda Baker is on your wire, or you can place him on your wire with confidence, Chris Banjo is the guy I'll be picking up. I think Jalen Thompson gets the biggest boost, somebody that we've seen be a really good name with Buda Baker out. So if Jalen Thompson is on your wire right now, I think he's a very good stream this week. Chris Banjo being a more of a low-level guy, not someone I want to trust in my finals without seeing it, but Jalen Thompson's more of the name for me. Are you on the same page with that, Axton?
Yep. Yep.
All right, and then the other thing was if Derwin James misses. I know this was from Leo, not exactly me, and I do trust Leo with all of my IDP trust. Alohi Gilman would be the pickup for Derwin James should he miss a week. It's a tougher matchup with the Rams, but then again, that's based on the year-long sample. The Rams are targeting the tight end more of late with Tyler Higbee, and that's where the safety tends to be following, at least where Derwin James would, and I imagine Gilman will as well. So that's an interesting low-level stream as well. If Derwin James misses.